Here are the top 5 and the interval at which they are separated. Schrader a little more than a second behind. Brett Bodine is 2.5 seconds behind. Labonte 3 seconds, and Ricky Rudd 3.25 seconds behind the leader, Sterling Marlin. And he comes up now to put a lap on Bobby Labonte. Here's Jerry Punch with a comment on Sterling Marlin.
You may not know it to look at Sterling Marlin right now, but even though that car was the one he ran at Bristol and it was fixed, Sterling isn't exactly 100%. He thought he had some broken ribs, some contact he had at Bristol, Tennessee 2 weeks ago. He's been very uncomfortable in the car. He said, really, I'm okay in the car, Doc. He said, but if I hit anything, it's really going to hurt. So obviously the advice I gave him from a medical expert was, don't hit anything.
Very good, Jerry. Now, see, even I...
How many years of school do you reckon Punch went to say that?
I'll tell you, that Ford is hooked up today. It's looking good.
And as you mentioned, Benny, it has had some very good runs this year, but when you look at the results column, you'll see no top 5s. He has had 1 top 10, and Sterling is mired back in 22nd position in the points.
Ricky Rudd losing a couple positions. Dale Jarrett and Rusty Wallace had to come off of turn 4. Both of them passed Rudd in the last lap. And here's Morgan Shepherd in heavy traffic. He just moved around Bill Elliott a lap ago, and Kyle Petty continues to move towards the front.
Yes, Kyle Petty running awful well. And they told me in the garage here this morning that Morgan Shepherd in practice yesterday afternoon had the best race car of all, the fastest time, I should say.
Morgan is 9th, Bill is 10th, and Kyle is 11th.
Running right on the bottom of the racetrack.
I was going to say, Elliott's up in that upper groove.
That's a characteristic. I don't know if it's a characteristic of Kyle or the race car, but normally that car does its best right on the bottom of the track. That's where he's driving today, and it's working for him. You see, he was racing with Davey Allison a while back when we were on him. He's pulled away from Davey. Davey is the next car in line. But he's back about 15 car lengths.
It's been a nice move toward the 11th position for Kyle. He started 22nd, dropped back to 24th, then moved to 19th at the end of 30 laps, 15th at the end of 50, and with 69 laps completed 2 laps ago, 11th, and now he challenges Bill Elliott for another position.
Bill's not going to fight him too much because Kyle has the line down on the inside. He'll back off going into turn 1 and let him go.
Well, Junior Johnson held a news conference here yesterday just to answer some questions and especially to put down some rumors that have been flying about concerning his team. The team is not for sale in either car, and Junior says he hopes because of his recent heart surgery to now be back at almost every race and play a more active role in the Elliott and Hut Strickland cars. Brett Bodine started first, moved up to second, went to third and leveled off there, and he continues to run in the 3rd position.
And we see the 17 car going by Ricky Rudd, so Rudd another car that's lost the handle here in the past few laps as Morgan Shepherd gets down on the inside of it.
And John Kernan has more on Darrell Waltrip.
You guys remember Bristol a couple weeks ago? Darrell didn't make the race qualifying, had to use a champion's provisional, started dead last, but finished in the top 10. Now this is that same race car. Darrell says it just doesn't want to go fast for 1 or 2 laps. Barry Dotson told me this morning the car needs 5+ laps to get its momentum going, and it is set up to run long green flag laps. So watch Darrell Waltrip. He's making his way to the front.
A 10-time winner here at North Wilkesboro. He won his first race in 1977 and his most recent in 1991. Here's his serial. Started 23rd, moved to 15th, 13th, 11th, and now Darrell Waltrip runs in 7th position at the end of
change for a 3rd position here. Terry Labonte has finally gotten on the inside of Brett Bodine coming off of turn 4. They race down the front straightaway side by side, but Labonte has that inside room, but they're coming up on some lap traffic, Bob. Don't know what that'll do for it.
The lap traffic would be Jimmy Means and Ted Musgrave. Down the backstretch, Bodine maintains about a half a car length advantage, and now Labonte has to slam on the brakes. You're right, Ned. That lap traffic certainly did play a part.
Sure did. There wasn't anything Labonte could do but just back off. Now he'll have to work and try to get a nose under him once again. He had him passed if he could have just made one more lap.
And Dale Jarrett and Rusty Wallace are also right there with Labonte and Bodine. Now here's Labonte again getting to the inside of Brett. The slower car is Ted Musgrave, the U.S. Air Jasper Engines car. And now Labonte is going to be able to take third place away from Bodine, I believe. Although it,
I believe he'll have it this time.
He got it.
Yep, he's got it. Now Dale Jarrett will try to stick his car up under there as well. Bodine quickly covers that inside groove.
Here's the way it looks from Rusty Wallace's perspective. He's right behind Dale Jarrett.
We're down in turn one, and you can see that the racetrack, as Ned Jarrett mentioned, a little bit downhill, probably 3-4 degrees of grade. Now he's going up the back straightaway.
And Dale did take a look to the inside.
And look at Darrell Walker coming up on the outside. He is motored by all of them. We're trying to. He gets on the outside of Rusty Wallace.
Now he's on the outside of Dale Jarrett.
And Morgan Shepherd trying to come up through there too. Let's see. Ooh, there. Ted Musgrave saw what was going on, so he just backed out and let him go at it. But this has become some heavy competition.
And Ricky Rudd going back by Rusty Wallace. What he's trying to do.
And Kyle Petty has caught up to the group.
It's another three abreast shot here, looks to me like.
Here's Waltrip on the outside of Jarrett going into turn 3. He has found himself a groove and has that Western Auto Chevrolet on the move.
Morgan Shepherd is trying it as well.
Darrell is past Dale Jarrett. A little contact there maybe between Jarrett and Shepherd as they work through the third and fourth turns.
Now Darrell Waltrip up ahead is passing Brett Bodine on the inside.
That car can work high or low.
Yeah, just anywhere he wants to go.
Dale Jarrett's on the inside of Bodine. Pole center and getting himself into trouble, losing position fast.
Mike Shepherd got a little loose. Morgan takes the spot away from Brett. Here comes Rusty.
And Kyle Petty's joined this group. I thought Brett was going to come down and make some contact, but he held the car.
Great racing.
In car 68.
And Ricky Rudd goes by Brett Bodine.
Brett has fallen several positions here in about the last 10 laps. Well, things have sorted out somewhat, and so we'll take a break and be right back. Here is Dale Earnhardt, and he is about to go a lap down. Jimmy Spencer is also threatening to be lapped by the leader of the race, Sterling Marlin.
Spencer and Earnhardt are running in 17th and 18th position. Spencer trying to take over the 17th position. Can't quite make the pass that time. Now he gets the Meineke Ford little burst of power off of turn 4 and he makes the pass. Sterling Marlin comes down on the inside. Earnhardt goes back out on the outside going into turn 1. He's trying to stay in the lead lap.
This is only the second time that Sterling Marlin has led a race in '93. He led one lap at Daytona. Has not. Oh, and now Earnhardt slips a little bit.
He almost lost control of that car. Oh, and he and the leader make contact coming off turn 4.
And it's obvious that Dale Earnhardt is having some handling problems because he wiggled there in turn number 2 also. Sterling Marlin leads this race with 90 laps out of 400 completed in the first Union 400. We'll be back in a moment. ESPN Speed World live at North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Carolina for the first Union 400 that is being led by the Rebestos Ford, driven by Sterling Marlin.
I suppose that car in front of him looks familiar because that was the sponsorship he had last year, Maxwell House, and Earnhardt still fighting that loose race car.
He started 21st, moved up, but now is back to 20th. John Kernan is with Richard Childress.